In the early hours of February 14th, 2000, a seemingly ordinary 9-year-old girl named Asha Degree vanished from her home in Shelby, North Carolina. Asha, a bright and cheerful fourth grader, was known for her love of basketball, her dedication to school, and her close-knit family. She was the last person anyone would expect to be at the center of one of the most perplexing mysteries in recent history. On the night of her disappearance, Asha went to bed like any other night. Her parents, Harold and Ikilia Degree, checked on her and her older brother O'Brien before turning in themselves. But when they awoke the next morning, Asha was gone. Her bed was empty, and her book bag was missing. The only clues left behind were a few personal items scattered along a rural highway, miles from her home. What could have compelled a young girl to leave the safety of her home in the dead of night? Was she lured away, or did she leave of her own accord? These questions, and many more, have haunted the Degree family and investigators for over 2 decades. The night of February 13th, 2000, was unremarkable at first glance. Asha Degree's family had spent the day at church, followed by a Valentine's Day preparation at home. The mood was lighthearted, filled with laughter and the anticipation of the upcoming holiday. Asha, like any other 9-year-old, went to bed around 8:00 p.m., her favorite stuffed animal clutched in her arms. But as the night deepened, an unsettling chain of events began to unfold. Around 2:30 a.m., a severe storm rolled through Shelby, North Carolina. Heavy rain lashed against the windows, and the sky was intermittently lit up by flashes of lightning. Harold Degree, Asha's father, checked on his children around this time. They were both sound asleep, seemingly undisturbed by the storm. Yet, just a few hours later, everything changed. At around 4:00 a.m., a truck driver reported seeing a young girl walking along Highway 18, a rural road not far from the Degree residence. She was dressed in a long-sleeved white t-shirt and white pants, an unusual outfit for someone walking alone in such treacherous weather. The driver, concerned but unsure, circled back to check on her. By then, she had vanished into the woods. When Harold and Aquila Degree woke up later that morning, they discovered Asha's bed empty and her book bag missing. Panic set in as they realized their daughter was gone. They frantically searched the house and the surrounding area, but there was no sign of Asha. The only clues were a few personal items found scattered along the highway where she was last seen. What drove Asha to leave her home that stormy night? Theories abound, but answers remain elusive. Did she leave voluntarily, or was she compelled by someone or something? The enigma of that fateful night continues to baffle investigators and haunts the Degree family to this day. As the days turned into weeks, the search for Asha Degree intensified. The community came together, combing through every inch of the surrounding area, hoping to find any trace of the missing girl. Flyers were distributed, and a reward was offered for any information leading to her safe return. Despite these efforts, Asha seemed to have vanished without a trace. However, a disturbing discovery would soon add another layer to this already perplexing mystery. On February 17th, 2000, just 3 days after Asha's disappearance, a construction worker found a crucial piece of evidence. While working on a project near Highway 18, he stumbled upon Asha's book bag. It was found buried in a plastic bag, seemingly hidden from plain sight. Inside the bag were several of Asha's personal belongings, including her favorite clothes and a copy of Dr. Seuss's book, McElligot's Pool. This discovery raised more questions than it answered. Why was the bag buried? Who hid it there? And most importantly, where was Asha? The discovery of her book bag reignited hope and dread in equal measure. It suggested that Asha had not simply wandered off, but might have been taken by someone. The authorities ramped up their investigation, examining the bag for any forensic evidence that could lead them to Asha or her abductor. Unfortunately, the results were inconclusive, leaving investigators and Asha's family with more questions than answers. The chilling discovery of the book bag remains one of the most significant clues in the case. It indicates that someone, somewhere, might know what happened to Asha Degree. Yet, despite this lead, the mystery of her disappearance remains unsolved. As the community reeled from the discovery of Asha's book bag, authorities intensified their efforts to piece together the events of that fateful night. The initial investigation was marked by a sense of urgency and determination. Law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, joined local police in the search for Asha Degree, leaving no stone unturned. The Degree family was interviewed extensively. Asha's parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, recounted every detail they could remember, from Asha's behavior in the days leading up to her disappearance to the contents of her room. Friends, neighbors, and school staff were also questioned, but no one could provide a clear reason why Asha would leave her home in the middle of the night. The authorities retraced Asha's steps, starting from her home and following the path she might have taken. Witnesses reported seeing a young girl walking along Highway 18 in the early hours of February 14th, but these sightings only deepened the mystery. Why was Asha walking along the highway? Was she meeting someone, or was she simply lost and afraid? Forensic experts analyzed the book bag and its contents meticulously. They hoped to find fingerprints, DNA, or any other evidence that could point them in the right direction. However, the results were frustratingly inconclusive. The plastic bag in which the book bag was buried suggested that someone had deliberately hidden it, but who and why remained unknown. The initial investigation also focused on potential leads and sightings. Tips poured in from across the country, but none led to a breakthrough. The community continued to rally around the Degree family, holding vigils and organizing search parties. Despite the overwhelming support, the search for Asha seemed to hit a dead end. The authorities faced a daunting task. The lack of concrete evidence and the passage of time made the investigation increasingly challenging. Yet, hope persisted. The discovery of the book bag was a crucial clue, and investigators remained committed to finding Asha and bringing her home. Theories and suspects have abounded since the day Asha Degree vanished. As investigators dug deeper, several potential scenarios emerged, each bringing its own set of chilling possibilities. One of the most prevalent theories is that Asha may have been lured away by someone she knew or trusted. The notion that a 9-year-old girl would venture out into the night alone seems implausible to many, suggesting that perhaps she was meeting someone. Could it have been a family friend, a relative, or even a stranger who'd gained her trust? Another theory suggests that Asha may have been the victim of a random abduction. The sightings of a young girl matching her description walking along Highway 18 have led some to believe that she may have been picked up by a passing motorist with nefarious intentions. This scenario is particularly haunting, as it implies that Asha's disappearance was a tragic twist of fate. Some investigators have also considered the possibility of a more sinister plot. Could Asha have been targeted by a human trafficking ring? Though less likely, this theory cannot be entirely dismissed given the disturbing reality of such crimes. Over the years, various suspects have come under scrutiny. One such individual was a local man with a history of child-related offenses. Although he was questioned extensively, no concrete evidence tied him to Asha's disappearance. The lack of physical evidence and the passage of time have only added to the complexity of the case. In the absence of definitive answers, the Degree family has had to grapple with these theories, each one more harrowing than the last. The community, too, remains on edge, haunted by the possibility that someone among them may know more than they are letting on. As we continue to explore the enigma of Asha Degree's disappearance, we must confront these theories and suspects head-on. Each possibility, no matter how unsettling, brings us one step closer to understanding what happened to this bright young girl who vanished into the night. As the investigation into Asha Degree's disappearance continued, several witnesses came forward with accounts that added both hope and confusion to the case. One of the most significant sightings occurred early on the morning of February 14, 2000, when multiple motorists reported seeing a young girl walking along Highway 18. She was described as wearing a long-sleeved white t-shirt and white pants, matching the description of Asha. These sightings were particularly perplexing to the investigators. Why would a 9-year-old girl be walking alone on a highway in the dead of night, during a storm? The witnesses' reports seemed credible, yet they raised more questions than answers. Some speculated that Asha might have been sleepwalking, while others believed she was deliberately heading somewhere. One witness even stopped to check on her, but Asha reportedly ran into the woods, perhaps frightened by the approaching stranger. This behavior added another layer of mystery. Was she running away from something or someone she knew? Or was she simply scared of the unknown? In the days and weeks following her disappearance, other potential sightings were reported. A truck driver claimed to have seen a girl matching Asha's description getting into a dark green, early 1970s model Lincoln Continental Mark IV along the highway. This lead was thoroughly investigated, but it ultimately led to another dead end. These witness accounts, while compelling, did not provide the breakthrough that investigators desperately needed. Each sighting seemed to bring a glimmer of hope, only to be extinguished by the lack of concrete evidence. The Degree family clung to these sightings, hoping that one of them would lead to Asha's safe return. But as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the sightings grew fewer and farther between. The initial flurry of witness reports slowed to a trickle, leaving the investigators with a frustratingly incomplete picture of what happened that fateful night. The search for Asha Degree began almost immediately after her disappearance. Within hours, the local community, law enforcement, and volunteers had mobilized, determined to find the missing 9-year-old. The initial search efforts were extensive, covering the area around her home and the stretch of Highway 18 where she was last seen. Search parties scoured the woods, fields, and neighborhoods, leaving no stone unturned. Helicopters with thermal imaging flew overhead, while K-9 units sniffed through the underbrush, desperately seeking any trace of Asha. Despite the exhaustive efforts, the initial days of the search yielded little more than frustration and heartache. The community rallied around the Degree family, offering not just manpower, but emotional support. Candlelight vigils were held, and missing person flyers were distributed far and wide. Local businesses donated food and supplies to sustain the search efforts, and a reward fund was established to encourage anyone with information to come forward. As days turned into weeks, the search efforts evolved. Specialized search and rescue teams were brought in, employing advanced techniques and equipment. Divers explored nearby bodies of water, while forensic experts analyzed every piece of evidence, no matter how small. The FBI joined the investigation, bringing additional resources and expertise to the table. The community's involvement didn't wane. If anything, it grew stronger. Fundraisers were organized to support the ongoing search, and awareness campaigns were launched to keep Asha's story in the public eye. The Degree family, though devastated, remained hopeful, buoyed by the unwavering support of their neighbors and friends. Yet, despite all these efforts, Asha remained missing. The search had uncovered a few tantalizing clues: a book bag, a pencil, a marker, but none that led to her. Each discovery brought a mix of hope and despair, a reminder of how close yet how far they were from finding her. The communal effort to find Asha Degree stands as a testament to the power of unity and compassion in the face of tragedy. It is a story of relentless determination, of a community that refused to give up, and of a family that continues to hope against all odds. Despite the unwavering efforts and the outpouring of support from the community, the search for Asha Degree was fraught with challenges and setbacks. The dense woods and rugged terrain around her home made it difficult for search teams to navigate, and the heavy rainfall, in the days following her disappearance, washed away potential evidence. Every lead, no matter how promising, seemed to hit a dead end. For the Degree family, each passing day without answers was an agonizing reminder of their loss. They faced the emotional toll of not knowing what happened to Asha, compounded by the frustration of stalled investigations. Law enforcement agencies, despite their best efforts, struggled with the lack of concrete evidence. The case grew colder with each passing month, and the hope of finding Asha seemed to dim. Adding to the complexity were the numerous false leads and hoaxes that diverted valuable resources and time. Psychics and self-proclaimed detectives offered theories and tips, but none led to Asha. Each false hope was a crushing blow to the Degree family and the investigators alike. As the years went by, the case faced the inevitable challenge of fading public interest. New cases and headlines took over, and Asha's story risked being forgotten. But her family and the dedicated community of Shelby, North Carolina, refused to let that happen. They continued to hold vigils, distribute flyers, and keep Asha's memory alive in the hearts and minds of those who knew her story. In the face of these challenges, the Degree family displayed remarkable resilience. Their unwavering faith and determination to find Asha provided a beacon of hope for everyone involved in the search. Despite the setbacks, they never gave up, holding on to the belief that one day they would bring Asha home. As we transition from the challenges and setbacks faced during the initial years of Asha Degree's disappearance, it's crucial to take a moment to examine the current status of the case. Despite the passage of time, Asha's case remains open and active with the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office and the FBI. In recent years, there have been renewed efforts to bring Asha home. Law enforcement agencies have continued to follow up on new leads and tips, no matter how small. In 2015, the FBI announced that they were re-examining the case with fresh eyes, utilizing advanced technology and forensic techniques that were not available at the time of her disappearance. One significant development came in 2016, when investigators revealed that they had uncovered new evidence: a book and a concert ticket stub that were believed to have been in Asha's possession. These items were found in her backpack, which had been discovered a year after her disappearance. The new evidence reignited hope and brought a renewed focus to the case. Public awareness campaigns have also played a pivotal role. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has featured Asha's case in their efforts to keep her story in the public eye. Age-progressed images of Asha have been released periodically to show what she might look like today, helping to keep her memory alive and encouraging anyone with information to come forward. The community of Shelby, North Carolina, continues to rally around the Degree family. Annual walks and vigils are held to commemorate Asha's disappearance and to remind everyone that the search for her is far from over. These events serve as a powerful testament to the community's enduring commitment to finding Asha and bringing her home. Despite these ongoing efforts, the case remains unsolved. The lack of concrete evidence and the passage of time have made it increasingly difficult to uncover new leads. However, the Degree family, law enforcement, and the community remain hopeful that one day, the truth will emerge. If you have any information about Asha Degree's disappearance, no matter how insignificant it may seem, please contact the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office or the FBI. Your tip could be the missing piece that finally solves this haunting mystery. As we delve deeper into Asha Degree's disappearance, it's important to remember that every piece of information, no matter how small, could be the key to unlocking this mystery. Over the years, there have been moments of hope, moments when it seemed like the truth was within reach. But each time, the answers slipped through our fingers, leaving us with more questions than before. One of the most perplexing aspects of this case is the lack of clear motive or reason for Asha's disappearance. Asha was a happy, well-adjusted child with no known issues at home or school. Her family and friends have consistently described her as a bright and cheerful girl, making her sudden disappearance all the more baffling. In 2018, a new tip emerged that reignited the investigation. A witness came forward with information suggesting that a car matching the description of a dark green early 1970s Lincoln Continental Mark III, or possibly a Ford Thunderbird, was seen along Highway 18 near where Asha was last spotted. This lead, while intriguing, has yet to produce any concrete evidence. The Degree family has never stopped searching for answers. They have worked tirelessly with law enforcement, private investigators, and community volunteers to keep Asha's case in the public eye. Their resilience and determination are a testament to their love for Asha and their unwavering hope that she will one day be found. In the age of social media, the search for Asha has taken on new dimensions. Online communities dedicated to solving cold cases have taken up Asha's story, sharing information, theories, and potential leads. These digital sleuths have become an invaluable resource in the ongoing effort to find Asha, proving that even after all these years, her story continues to resonate with people around the world. Despite the many challenges and setbacks, the search for Asha Degree remains active. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, and the Degree family are all committed to finding the truth. They continue to urge anyone with information, no matter how insignificant it may seem, to come forward. Every tip, every piece of evidence brings us one step closer to solving this heartbreaking mystery. As we move forward, we hold on to the hope that one day, the truth will come to light. Asha Degree's Disappearance is a reminder of the enduring power of hope, the strength of community, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Her story is not just a mystery to be solved, but a call to action for all of us to remain vigilant, compassionate, and determined in the face of the unknown. Stay with us as we continue to explore the enigma of Asha Degree's disappearance and the relentless search for answers. Together, we can keep her memory alive and hold on to the hope that one day she will be brought home.